Hello and welcome back, everybody. After Game 2, Dignitas leading the series for now. And Cloud9 Challengers not living up to the expectation that we set coming in. I had them as favorites to take the whole bracket, but it looks like they might get knocked down into the lower bracket earlier than they expected. Joey, you said that Dignitas would take the series. Did you expect the reverse sweep stop from Dignitas where they take 2 and then Cloud9 get 2 and Dignitas get the final one?
I thought it was going to be trading 1-1-1-1, so I was really happy when Dignitas won the first one because like my prediction is coming too. For them to win that second game, I think Cloud9's really going to be scratching their head is what they need to change in between games. Maybe they pick red side, maybe they don't. We'll find out.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like they got blindsided. It's not as though Gwen is the only thing that Hoon can play to really beat up a Sion.
The counter pick for Hoon was massive. Hoon in time came online, baby. More than 100 CS per minute. He Hoon Horizoned Fake God. And in the matchup where this was Fake God's big opportunity to step up, say, look, I was on this org. They dropped me. They pick up Hoon. Now I have a shot to match up against him and try, get some revenge. But so far, Hoon has been proven himself as a very, very powerful top laner. But that does it for game number 2. We're going to start a Rally Cry halftime show now as we get ready for game number 3 and maybe the last game of this series. We got Joey on the broadcast with us, so we had to get some gameplay out of you. You know, so you are a professional gamer, right? I've heard that, right?
So. Yeah, I hope so.
How gaming are you feeling, Joey?
I'm always gaming. I'm always a gaming gamer.
All right, okay.
Positive gamer too. Oh, that's a good additive to add there. So we're gonna do a little bit of a 1v1 between myself and Joey because I fancy myself a support main. Now I might have not achieved my yearly goal of hitting plat last year, but that doesn't matter because Josh is gonna be helping me out on my corner, asking Joey questions about the series while we do our 1v1s. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of an advantage here. Usually we'd have 2 players go against each other, but this is the best that we could make do. And clearly I'm the better choice for this than Josh.
True. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is my tryout. All right, so
hit the start button. There you go.
We're going into the game. Now, Josh has the technology where he is going to stream this game to all of you. We are in the tournament realm. Josh will be spectating us. Josh, can you see pick and ban?
I can, but it has the names up. I don't know if I want to put it up.
It does have the names up? Okay, that's fine.
Right.
What are we picking here, Joey?
No, they did have rules.
And they updated it.
It has to be. They have to pick support, but they have to be in the support tab. So when they click that, any champion that is there is legal. I don't know what's on there at all, but
there's some good ones.
I'm going to be doing my best job to try and distract Joey by asking him questions about that last series. We'll see what his memory has been like. We said that there was going to be a pop quiz. This is going to be that pop quiz. So maybe if I can distract him hard enough, we might actually give Steve an opportunity to take this one down. But it's going to be a spot where Steve, he hasn't even picked his champion, whereas I can give a bit of a hint as to what
can you tell me? Just tell me what he's playing, you know?
He has locked it in. It rhymes with Mike. It rhymes with Mike.
Pike? Oh, no, this is not going to interact well with who I'm picking. Oh, boy. Well, I got to say, this could go one of 2 ways for me. Because, unfortunately, I could go the strategy of pick something I'm bad at, so that way when I lose, I feel better about myself.
You can't do the pre-Johns.
But I do kind of have to actually, I think, go for something that is going to get me a win here.
Or at least as close as we can possibly get.
I didn't even get my runes correctly set, but it's fine. We're going to go into this. We're going into this. I'm feeling ready.
All right.
The problem is that Joey actually has runes set up on a tournament realm. This is my first time ever going into a tournament realm game before, so I had to do all that from scratch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, my settings are actually going to be completely off, aren't they?
Yeah, I will let you know. A bit of an embarrassing story about me. I used to be a challenger mid lane player, right? And a while ago, TL hosted this tournament that was like a 1v1 tournament to get signed. And I signed up for it, and I was challenger at the time, and I lost to a plat 1 player.
Oh,
in the first round.
Oh, that's not good for you.
All right, we gotta get in Joey's head immediately. Maybe we can manage to get him to forget to buy items. So we're gonna start off. Joey.
The Envy 2016 logo? Let's go.
Yeah, Let's go. It.
Now, how many items did Hoon have last game, and what were they?
He had 4 items. He had Death Cap, Cosmic Drive, I think Zonia's, because I saw him use it once, and then Rift Maker.
There you go. He,
This
in
is
fact,
unreasonably
did
loud,
not
by the way.
have...
Oh.
Where are my
Okay.
keybinds? Oh, there it is. I found it. Good job, guys.
Oh,
All right.
no, it's all recommended items.
He didn't have the
What's
Zonias,
happening?
though. He only had the stopwatch
Oh,
completed
no.
last time we actually checked.
Maybe there's a void staff.
Yeah. It was a Shadow Flame, actually.
All right.
It's one of the big
Never
items that
mind.
he had. All right.
God, he's
Cool.
Giga Chad Hoon.
Before the final fight, how many items did Insanity have?
I assume 3?
Oh, he's already getting me.
Oh,
No.
he's already getting it a little bit. All right, and what was
Bastard.
Insanity's KDA before the final fight?
Oh, that one's a
Wait,
hard
bro,
one.
no.
I don't think I paid that much attention to like know that.
Yeah. Uh-oh, this is gonna be fast. How many kills does Spawn have? How many kills does Spawn have?
I'm alive. No.
I have no clue how many Spawn had, but I know I have one.
Man. That's
Wait,
not
I gotta
that's not
move
how I
on.
wanted this. Also, I didn't realize that we were on camera this whole time. Hey, how's it going, chat? How's it going, everybody?
Oh wait, was it not showing?
No, I mean it was showing the gameplay and my head just chilling out here at the bottom of the screen. This is actually how I'm gonna stream going forward. All right, Joey wins the first one. Joey wins
All right,
the first one.
first one.
We're going again?
We're going again.
It has
Okay,
to be.
okay.
All right, are you guys logging out, or are you guys going back into that one?
No,
We're gonna relog. I have
don't
to change
have
my
to
keybinds also.
you don't have to relog. It'll disconnect once everyone disconnects.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll make another one. So Spawn actually had 5 kills at the end of the game last time.
Okay, but my question is, did he have higher damage than Lost?
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
I
That was
don't
one
know
of
the
the hot
answer to
takes.
that.
Where did we rate that hot take? It was like a 4.
It was the 4. It
It
was,
was
not,
not
hot.
particularly
Okay.
high.
That was
Right.
Radcliffe hot sauce.
It was not the hottest take in the world.
They're
You know,
gonna kill us. You realize that, right? Like, we're not leaving this broadcast.
Yeah,
living.
when our guest talent is starting to make fun of it, it's going to be the rest of us, you know, who are going to
We love you, Rally Cry. We love you. Thank you for putting on a great show.
It's okay. We'll be upside down or something. Maybe we'll all be negative next time. I'll stop giving them ideas. But
All right, this time I'm gonna.
All right, make sure you
change
do your
my
runes,
keys
Steve.
to Smartcast.
Do your
Smartcast this
runes?
time because I didn't have that last time and it was really messing with me.
now, how much gold did Diplex get off of First Strike?
Ooh, I'm gonna guess like 900 probably.
I probably should have asked a question I knew the answer to.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been a really good one, especially if you got it. That's actually probably pretty close. How many players died when Zazel and Tommy got jumped on?
Josh, you don't have to be asking these questions now.
I
We're
do
not
now.
in the game. You gotta
But-
distract him when we're actually in. there.
Hopefully, well, maybe he'll screw up a rune or something, Steve. I'm doing
good
everything
point. Good
I
point.
can.
Good point. No, let him cook. Yeah.
Maybe one. Like,
You
yeah, I
won?
think one. I think
You
it
remember-
was Zazel. Oh, Ivan died.
Oh, it was not Diamond.
No,
it was
it's 3 people died. Wait, which time are you talking about? They got jumped on.
the one
twice.
where they got jumped on next to like the Red Buff and Krugs.
Oh. 2 people?
There's
No, one
only
person, just
one
one.
person who died,
Just
and it
Diamond.
was it was Insanity.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe I wasn't watching the game.
Yeah.
I was casting it, but I wasn't watching it.
Okay. Now, the most important one.
It's okay.
What
you're-
was the
you're just like
interaction?
most other casters. You're good.
What was the interaction that you learned about?
Oh, it was the Gragas one. I don't
Gragas
remember
one?
your guys' interaction.
I don't
I
know.
already knew
Ours
that
was the
interaction.
Vel'Koz one. Do you
Yeah, I already
remember
knew that one.
Vel'Koz passive?
Oh my god, I got counterpicked.
Counterpick.
Counterpicked.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go! I
There you
didn't
go.
even know this was a counterpick, but I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have to stand while I'm playing, so you don't just see the top of my head. This is not
True.
what I was expecting. All right.
Joey, starting from the blue 1 pick, as many champions in order as were picked in Champ Select.
Blue one was Zaya, then they picked Rukon Wukong, then they picked Maokai Renata. Then Dignitas responded with that by banning Jace and Vex, as you do. Classic
Yeah.
bans. C9 banned
normal.
Rumble and... Where are you?
I'm figuring out my controls.
C9 banned Rumble and I don't remember the other one. But then they they blinded Vagar, which was pretty insane, and then they picked Vel'Koz Scion into that.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh, you like that?
That's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
kinda like that.
That's almost the entire draft.
Yeah, I just don't remember
And
the
so
1,
Gwen.
2, 3 bands that well.
Yeah. All right. Now, what does Cloud9 need to ban this game in order to have a chance?
Oh, they need to pick red side. Do you guys know what side they picked? I'm curious.
It's listed somewhere, but I have not looked at it. I'm busy watching your game. All right, so they need to pick red side. What champion do they need to first pick?
What champion will they first pick? I think they need to ban out the Rakan or something like that. I don't think that they're that comfortable as actually that's not true. They played pretty well in their matchup bot. Oh, hold on. Oh my god, he's got barrier.
Yeah. Oh, you ignited me. Kill.
All right, do you still like your prediction of Dignitas 3-2?
No, I like 3-1 now.
3-1? You think Cloud9's going to take the next one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it'll just be too boring if they don't. And like, I know like some of the people on Dignitas are a little content build, so I think that they're gonna want to. Yeah, you're coming for that. I already know it. I got a little lead on you.
Oh, really?
All right.
I think Dignitas a big content build, so they're gonna throw for content.
Okay. Who's gonna have the most kills on Cloud9 the next game, and on what champion?
Ooh, I think Diplex on Ari.
On Ari, and what will he be playing it into?
I feel like Insanity, he's up in the series, so he's gonna play something really spicy like an Udyr.
Oh, no, I didn't
what year did Tazel take over? What year did Tazel take over?
Oh, let's go!
That's a little depressing.
I got unreasonably excited about that, but I didn't want to lose 2 of those. Oh, all right. Well, Mortals, if you're looking for a support, my DMs are open.
Right, if you're looking for a caster, I'm right here. I got you.
All right, I think. How much time do we have left? How much time do we have left?
I have no idea. I've not.
Oh, we are super late. We are super late.
Okay, let's cut this. Let's get into Pig Man then. Joey, we'll finish this 2 out of 3 after.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 after this, okay?
Yeah.
All right. We'll settle this later. We are in the
I
Pig
do
Man,
have I do have a random stat, courtesy of Sven, one of our great producers.
Yeah.
Sandy had 302 stacks on AP on his Viger passive last game.
So what was it? Do we know the total AP?
770.
Ooh. Not quite in the 1,000 territory, but consider how quickly that game ended. That is pretty good.
All right, Steve, which support plays more wards?
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, no.
I think this is Vision Score. I'm going to guess this is actually Vision Score. Which one had better
Probably
Vision Score?
Vision Score. Yeah. Generally. Wait, what were they even playing? It was.
Oh, it is wards. I am confirming that it is actual wards placed.
Wards placed. I'm just going to go with actually Zazel. I felt like Cloud9 had a lot of vision control around the objectives. They just couldn't hold the chokes.
It was a trick question. They had the same. It was 67 on both sides.
All right. I'm going to count that as a win. I'm going to count that as my second win of the day, as I'm riding a high.
Second win.
Ties, winning the counter pick against Joey.
We got the Rakan coming through, and we see the Xayah going right on back. This is one of the things that I know that Joey was talking about, right? The Rakan and the Wukong were coming out from Dignitas in both Game 1 and in Game 2. Forcing something a little bit different coming through from Dignitas Challengers. We'll see if they can continue to build up this constant streak of total dominance kind of in a lot of these games. But instead, they're going to be grabbing the Thresh for themselves, not the Renata counter pick.
Yeah. This
one can be very strong as well.
One of the things that Joey was talking about was Dignitas' drafts being a little bit better than Cloud9 so far. I haven't seen a lot of adaptations from Cloud9 and trying to take away some of those problem champions. Lee Sin is one of those ones from Game 1. XU is very proficient on this pick. And now we're Diamond on the Thresh. Maybe he saw the 1v1. Maybe he was fancying himself that. But also I do like it into the Rakan too.
It's also worth noting at this point that this is giving up Xayah over to Cloud9. They are going to be taking that. And Lost has played very well in this champion so far. And so I'm curious where they're actually going to be going from here, because this is a lot of power to be giving over to Lost and Zazel. We saw that Spawn and Diamond were able to use it to win the bottom lane matchup before, but the Thresh coming through, I'm expecting probably a Aphelios to be coming out of Spawn.
Jinx, yeah, something that's going to be more scaling focused, really utilizing the Thresh's ability to reposition them safely against things like Rakan and Wukong that will be diving on top of you. Aphelios has been the most common pick with this throughout the tournament so far, and it is Aphelios.
Yeah. Also confirming, Diamond did have a slightly better vision score, 125 to 124. But we still see a lot of similarities coming through from our previous drafts. That the Wukong comes out for Tomio again, just like in Game 1. XU takes the Lee Sin yet again. The Vex ban comes through. Viger coming through. I mean, it looks as though Dignitas are like, are you going to let Insanity play LeBlanc? This has been the question for the previous 2 games. It's the question here for the 3rd game. And now Dignitas, I actually feel like they kind of want to put another ban towards Diplek. The Lissandra ban comes through, and yeah, Dignitas are like, give me LeBlanc, give me LeBlanc. Cloud9 would be like, no.
LeBlanc's been banned in all 3 games so far, so I highly doubt. Yep, there it is.
There it is.
A lot of mid lane focus, like you highlighted from both teams, though. So now with that pool pinched, wondering what the next option will be for either of them. Diplek's, I mean, he goes towards the Silas, but I don't see like crazy ults that you're going to be stealing here. And Insanity loves the Taliyah, so I don't hate this blind pick from Dignitas.
And the Taliyah does have a lot of defensive tools, right? It can shut down a lot of what Zeyzal and Tomio do want to do as they do start diving in. They will just stun themselves on the rocks if they try and dive over that. So Dignitas a little bit more defensive focused this game than they were last time, but one of the very strong champions that we have not been seeing in the Orianna gets outranged a little bit by Taliyah during the laning phase, but realistically has so much burst of damage later on that it might not matter.
And combos so well with things like Rakan, things like Wukong. They go in, they land their CC and start the fight, and they carry your ball into that fight, and then you combo off of that. It's a tried and true classic from the beginning of Orianna's play in League of Legends. Pretty much any ball delivery system works for a comp. And a Gnar hover for the blind pick. It's locked in. Okay.
All right. So there's no true frontline, is what I always like to call from Cloud9. They have a lot of secondary frontliners. You've got the Rakan, you have the Wukong, you have the Gnar. They will all be standing in front, but none of them really wants to be the main tank here. But Dignitas doesn't have a main tank either, so it kind of evens out. But Gnar is very abusable, potentially in side lanes by a variety of different characters. This was one of the bans that Cloud9 have levied towards Dignitas multiple times, and this matchup is so focused on when and what kind of magic resist Fake God actually gets, right? Usually it has been so focused on trying to get an early Hex Drinker so that you don't just die to the Flame Spitters early on, but you can also try and get a lot of early movement speed so you can just run out of it. And so it's going to be a different kind of test coming through from Hoon, much more teamfight oriented than he was last game.
Well, I mean, you say that, but last time we saw Hoon on Rumble, he got first turret with no jungle intervention. This guy actually can pilot this champ to incredible success and plays it well in lane on his own. I don't believe it was against a Gnar. I think it was against a Sion, so obviously a very different matchup. Gnar should be able to handle that a little bit better theoretically. But I want to go back to the fact that Gnar just has not been getting wins in Challengers League. Like, it hasn't been this big power pick. There's a few players that still like to pilot him, but I mean, things like tanks were still on the table, so I'm wondering if Cloud9 Challengers, if they have some knowledge that I don't, because they are backs against the wall in Game 3 elimination. On the line, they must reverse sweep to continue into the grand finals. I considered it, Jonathan, but it is not in the support tab when you pull it out. And I like was going to lock it in, but it's like, that's cheating.
That's cheating. That's rude.
Also, I want to win this.
I want to go back. We got to reset the stakes. This is a best of 5. This is our upper bracket finals. Dignitas have been dominating it so far, Steve. And now, as we do see them going into this last game, a 3-0 from Dignitas would be a hell of a statement as we start looking toward the grand finals, which will be happening on Sunday, right? Whoever loses this, in order to get a rematch, will have to play another series against the winner of our match tomorrow between Team Liquid Challengers and Fear. And you just don't want to have to play those extra games. You want to be able to just sit there and wait, see which opponent you're going to do, play against. You do not have to prep nearly as much. You will not have the same fatigue of playing multiple days in a row. And so Dignitas, if they can lock this one down right now, huge redemption for Hoon, who's been looking so much better than he did last year, and huge redemption as well for Insanity, right? He was already saying he wished he could play against Emnes. If you just beat up his replacement, that is fantastic.
And it would be Insanity's second run into a bracket grand finals. Last summer, did it with multiple role swaps, or rather roster swaps on the team, as all Hoon, XU, and Spawn were promoted to LCS in the final weeks. But now it would be the return to form for the core roster that wanted to compete with each other in that tournament, but they took the LCS opportunity. Can Dignitas pull it off right here, or can Cloud9 make their first final since 2021 spring in the developmental league?
I feel it's worth noting that during most of the regular season, right, these two teams were the top dogs. Dignitas was first for, I believe, like the first 5 weeks when, you know, when we actually made the bet with Eric that made me shave that I was saying Dignitas will remain first seed going into these playoffs. But, I mean, Cloud9 took it from them right at the end, and it has been a huge showcase from Cloud9 that they really are one of the strongest teams. I remember hearing from Zazel last week about how we were unsure, like, is he going to be the next star shot for Cloud9? Because he was just sitting in Academy helping a lot of these players develop for years and years. But Zazel's one of these players.
Big
Look for an opportunity.
Insanity. It's flashed out of Diplex and half of a health bar chunk down.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff coming through from XU, going blue, wolves, red. Now looking for invade onto Tomio, trying to return the favor from last game.
Gets to safety, but will not have that blue buff. Hoon with priority. This is now 2 games in a row. Shoves in waves, roams into the enemy jungle, gets vision down, spots out Tomio. This time around, XU is benefited with a blue buff.
Good stuff coming through from Dignitas, having a lot of pressure, and now also going to be picking up the Scuttle Crab when it actually does spawn here in a little bit. And so, I mean, overall, Hoon's doing a fantastic job. Tomio's getting pushed around a little bit. They've already got the flash in the mid lane, and we were asking in game 1 where the pressure was going to be coming from XU towards the center of the map, and didn't really come. And instead, now, XU has been one of the players last year who were saying every single time, flip, 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 every opportunity that you can. This time he's not farming.
Ooh, Zazel with the engage onto spawn.
Nice
not in
route.
range to follow up too much, but that's a good poke. XU might dive, though.
Yeah,
okay,
there's
no,
no
never
way.
mind. He doesn't want it.
Nah, there's no way. I mean, even Mininar, he's got enough mobility baked in. There's not really a wave there. Would have been very, very bold. And so Tomio is going to be getting something back. Will be taking away the opposing Gromp and also puts down a ward. So they will see a lot of opportunities for lane games coming through from XU. They're going to try and make the dive happen now.
Yeah, Big God gets the safety of the wave. Hoon can probably just proxy this one. Last time I said Hoon got the turret with no jungle intervention. This time around, XU is helping him out, but still, 14 CS is the advantage for Hoon in this matchup.
This is the other way that some teams have tried to find advantages versus Cloud9, right? We've seen that Fear, they actually killed Fake God like 4 times with a flash.
Ooh. Flash engage comes in, but Spawn Flash is back. Diamond cannot get to safety. Death Sentence lands, lost, has the cleanse this time around, and now Tomio wrapping around for the kill onto Spawn. That's a double to lost.
And that's what happens. You need to vote so much towards the top side. Every play has a cost. Cloud9 knows there's nobody here to support Spawn on Diamond. They go aggressive. They get 2 kills over. And a beautiful cleanse from Lost. Make sure that there's no trade at all on the backside. XU only going to get some chickens. And so we've gotten into the arms race this game, Steve. It's Lost versus Hoon. The pressure coming through from Dignitas towards the top side is being matched by the pressure here on the bottom side. It takes Tomio a little while to actually commit to this fight, but when they do, there's nothing left for Spawn, has no flash, and Tomio able to get on top of the AD carry instantly. And again, Otterprice lost a second time. A fantastic cleanse to make sure that not enough damage can come through.
And kiting back into the brush, playing with the vision. Spawn didn't get the ward in the brush. Really tragic as we're back to live. Diamond looked to link up with XU. Maybe make something happen. The support has been linking up with the jungle quite often in this series so far. Not finding anything this time around as their vision that they dropped will be quickly swept out from Cloud9. Dragon could be the setup here. It's on the map. It is a big objective that both teams have actually been making early vision plays for.
Yeah, and it has been a spot of not a whole lot of fighting over, but a whole lot of jockeying for position around so far this series. And now, I mean, Hoon likely going to be getting this first plate of the game here in the top lane. And so, I'm a little bit curious, right? It is not the same kind of raw split pushing power on this Rumble unless you start getting a couple of kills that you just annihilate whatever comes through. And XU is spending more time here, but gets spotted out on another ward.
Big guy just barely noticing him right there as he drops the control ward down. XU can clear this one out, but Diplex is roaming up here. XU cannot stick around as he will just drop the ward down and see that Tomio is taking that Gromp.
Yeah, and XU's like respawns on his camps are like all screwed up at this point, right? He lost the Grom from the Wolves. The topside camps are getting cleared out. He really needs to make sure that he can realign all of his camps. Otherwise, his pathing is going to continue to be all cattywampus as he tries to make some of these plays going through, because it feels as though Cloud9 are like, yeah, he's just going to go for more ganks. We just take him down there. We'll look for him. We'll try and make sure that we stop any of his plays. And as long as he's not farming, we're coming in with a small advantage. And so, you see, finally going over towards the blue buff, but is already in a spot where Tomio, you're going to hit level 6 soon, can start looking for another invade like we saw in game 1.
Or a gank somewhere. I mean, there's no big areas other than bot lane. Spawn still doesn't have summoner spells. And I imagine Spawn and Diamond will be playing very safe. But once you have that Cyclone on the Wukong, you can look to force plays, especially with the Rakan. I think that's another reason XU's down here. Make sure that your bot lane is not punished for not having those sums.
Yeah. Cloud9, they do get the level 6 onto Lost. Zazel still looking for it, but Tomio coming around will not get spotted till now as they do come around the side. So Cloud9, be a little bit tough for them to go for a play, but now that they are building up priority in the bottom lane, Diplex can fight for prio in the mid lane. It does look as though Cloud9 will be taking away this first neutral objective of the game. There's no trade just coming out quite yet. Even though it's after 8 minutes, Dignitas not in a position to try and deal with the Rift Herald because XU needs to reset his camps.
Does he choose to go for the camps, or does he just go for the Herald,
No.
though? XU's the type of jungler that will just do this.
Yeah.
And he is going for the Herald. I mean, Hoon has the full shove in top lane, can roam down and help out here. You have Talia wall in case you're in a rough spot, so XU says, I will delay the trade, but we'll get the trade regardless.
Yeah. Hoon still up here in the top side, plus 20 at this point, taking away another plate, right? I mean, that's a kill that's gone over to Hoon just in terms of the plates, and it's effectively another kill based on the CS advantage that they have picked up, right? It's basically even in terms of an advantage that Lost has over Spawn.
Diplex is getting real aggressive here. Throws out the Shockwave to trade damage onto Insanity. Doesn't find anything. Okay, is this the moment? Is this when Hoon pops off? No, overheats. Has the Ignite, so I'm just waiting for when Hoon goes for the all-in on a Fake God and tries to get that solo bolo.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen this time.
You do notice that Fake God choosing to just go with the Mercury Treads, not opting for the early Hex Drinker, which has oftentimes been the break point for Gnar to actually start playing in this matchup. But it's also being matched. Like, look how fast Hoon is with those Boots of Swiftness. He goes, zoom! And, like, Fake God cannot get away from any of these interactions. So Hoon is constantly pushing everything out. We'll be looking for even more advantages there. But the 2 kills up at the top side have been completely stifled. And XU going to be contributing more. Not going to be getting the first turret all by himself, but, I mean, already down to half, almost entirely by himself. And XU going to come drop a Rift Herald as well.
It's Hoon in time, baby. Hoon comes into Dignitas, picks up the spot that Fake God was keeping warm for him. And now, with the opportunity to play against Fake God, after a really rough summer split, Hoon's story, his development this year has been nothing short of
Tomio's here.
Tomio's nearby, though. Do they actually go for the dive? Dignitas need to call it off. Oh, right as I was setting it up, they don't even commit the Herald for it either, as Insanity lands a nice flick back onto Diplex. Flash is available, so no way Diplex dies here, but he does get chunked out.
A little bit surprised that Dignitas don't choose to drop the Rift Herald, but that looks like Hoon saying, I don't want to share my gold. That's all mine. It's like that kid in a Christmas Story. That's mine. Either way, it is Dignitas now. They're going to try and... Oh, homeschooled. But it is a spot where Dignitas, they do need to try and stop the bleeding a little bit here down on the bottom side. And a lot of time being committed from both junglers, again, to not farming. Now, we start paying attention a little bit more towards the setup around the upcoming Dragon for these teams, right? Dignitas, they're trying to find some way to build a lead to counteract what we have seen from Lance, who's now 1,000 gold up over his lane opponent.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty clear win condition for Cloud9. Stack Dragons, go for that soul. Fake God's lane is pretty doomed at this point. Try and stay alive, buddy. Have fun up there.
It will
Usually
get
we
better.
don't take a look at top lane until 14 minutes in the game, but unfortunately, we are playing carries now. So you are a little more relevant, but it's about Cloud9, like you said, playing through Lost as XU. Tomio, they're right next to each other. That's another early Shockwave from Diplex, using it for wave clear and poke onto Insanity.
Insanity's chilling with that, right? As now XU goes towards the top side yet again. It's been the most top side focus from Dignitas I think I've seen maybe ever. As the ward disappears, Rift Herald goes down. They will see that Tomio is around, and so I don't think this quite kills the turret, but it's very close.
They'll get it down to the last Little chunk right there.
Yeah.
Dignitas. Hoon can deal with that, you know? Thanks, XU, for the assistance. I know last time my Rumble stats were a little cooler because I did it all by myself, but still appreciate the help. Is XU still around here? Tomio looking to take this Gromp. XU, do you go for the steal or do you go for the fight afterwards? He's actually just going to walk up and smite it away. That's just rude.
Hey, all right. I mean, between the play and a couple of objective steals or neutral monster steals, XU much more comfortable now with the situation than they were before. Remember, you're not losing as much off of taking away your opponent's jungle. It doesn't take you that extra time. And so Dignitas, I mean, they now find themselves with a gold lead yet again because of the investment they have had.
But this is not how top lane's supposed to go. Oh, misses the Sonic Wave, but I think they have the damage regardless. Fake God goes down. Hoon, the recipient of the gold.
Yeah. Oh, and XU taking the last play as well. Hoon's not going to be happy about that one, but they get it anyway. Insanity.
All right, it's about to play elsewhere for Cloud9. Oh, dark passage to safety. Light at the end of the tunnel. Insanity gets out.
Let's go. I mean, the two Cloud9 supports coming through. I have to echo.
You can't back there, buddy. Yeah,
I have to echo what it was that Joey said about these two supports, right? Like, they are both always in the right place at the right time, so they're neutralizing each other a lot this game, right? We saw Zeyzal go for that play. Diamond was there at the Dark Passage to get them out, and now we start looking towards the upcoming Dragon fight. Look who's coming down. It's Hoon. He has no teleport. He has to commit to where he's going to be on the map. He doesn't have the ultimate just quite yet, but he's got the Night Harvester, man. That's so much damage from a Rumble this early on in the game.
It's not manageable for Fake God at this point, especially the build he's going. It's only going to get worse, but now it's not about the side lane for a Rumble. Now it is about the team fight. Hoon is grouped up with everybody else. 5 champs on this Dragon. Tomio's over the wall. They want to look for this. Yeah, no equalizer yet. Teleport flank coming in from Fake God. He's close to Mega. This could be big from Cloud9. Hoon's marking Fake God. Dignitas are fighting their way into Diplex, who does not have the shockwave, but Cloud9 get the Dragon. They just bully Dignitas off.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the things that we keep talking about, right? Every play has a cost. Cloud9 knows that the Dignitas cost was too high, having used the ultimate already, but Hoon working his way back towards the top side of the map. Dignitas, they give up the second dragon of the game. Now, these upcoming dragons will be crucial for the way that both teams want to actually play it. The extra little bit of tankiness is going to help out so much against both sides who are so reliant on getting these big bursts of damage by really blowing teamfights out of the water. And if you just can resist that, you know, alpha strike from one side or the other, it will really help out both sides. And who needs to be careful? Who's catching who?
Yeah, he doesn't see Tomio. Now they do. Tomio's looking mid lane. Stopwatch from Insanity. Diplex is down the shockwave, and Hoon's actually found the flank on the Diplex, who has to flash away to safety. Zeyzal joins in. Hoon in trouble. Diplex with the kill. As Cloud9 look onto Insanity, but XU's nearby too. Zeyzal's got to get out. Doesn't have flash. Doesn't have any teammates to jump to. Dodging a lot of skill shots, though. I think he actually might be out of this one. Lost has joined in. XU, you're pretty deep, my friend. I don't know if you're going to win this one anymore. Dragon's rages Tomio further to safety and has to concede that they will not trade a kill.
Yeah, that kill going over, getting picked up is huge. Hoon was really trying to find a big play here, trying to find the counter gank. XU was on their way up, but not quite coordinated. The instant turn from Tomio onto Hoon, and Zeyzal, again, being in the right place at the right time, not being matched by Diamond this time. He's a couple plates go down on the bottom side. The entire turret has been picked up for Dignitas, but a couple of crucial kills getting picked up for Diplex here.
Take a look at the gold graph again as the Herald goes down. Cloud9 after the play. Get the objective. Mid lane's up a little bit. Bot lane still up a lot. It's just top lane keeping Dignitas in this gold lead right now.
Yeah, and that is how far ahead. Yeah, a little bit of jungle, you know, about 600. Helpful, but not the end of the world. Dignitas still has a small lead, and so things are really going to come to a head around the next dragon, right? This Gnar matchup into the Rumble in the side lane will tell us a lot about how the fights can go, and eventually, now that Fake God does have the Trinity Force online, it's becoming playable, right? Not easy, but playable. When you get the Black Cleaver, you can actually start fighting yet again, and so Fake God will be able to kind of bounce back a little bit in about 3,000 gold, so, you know, about the 25-minute mark. But until then, Hoon should be so much stronger than Fake God that they can create enough pressure to maybe take a turret.
For me, I don't think it's Fake God trying to get a kill, trying to out-pressure the Rumble. It's finding those teleport flanks like they did for that second Dragon. That teleport flank, Megan are coming in. Dignitas were like, we don't want this fight anymore. We're going to just run away. And that earns Cloud9 that second Dragon. If they can find plays like that with Anar, where you're just threatening Spawn, threatening XU, and Insanity, I think that's going to be Fake God's bigger goal for this game.
Yeah. I mean, there's no front line. There's no true front line for either team. So much of this game comes down to who actually just gets the fight started, right? If you are the one setting the tempo, if you are the one actually getting things going first, it's way more likely to go into your favor. And so Dignitas, they need to be very proactive. They need to start looking for ways to use the Talia wall in order to divide the fight more actively. And now, potential dive comes through. Teleport is expended as well.
Insanity's teleporting in to help back up Hoon. Fake God stacking up that Mega. Zazel's here. Flash from Hoon, but now Insanity could be in trouble. Seismic shoves Tomio away and has to flash. They lose the turret. They lose both flashes and teleport. Cloud9 with a really big dive there.
Yeah, and Zazel being a little bit more proactive on the map than Diamond has recently. They did a really good job doing the first one, but got to be a little bit careful in these upcoming fights. I mean, Diamond has not been rotating as effectively, and so we will see. That was a fair amount expended coming out from Cloud9 to pick up that turret. Will it still be up? Will it still have an opportunity to go for something around this upcoming Dragon? I think Tomio's ult will still be down when it spawns.
Yeah, the big thing is that Dignitas still have Spawn in their back pocket. We haven't talked much about Aphelios yet. He's had a very quiet game. 0-1 and 0 has not been around much of the action. Not at 2 items yet, but still, Aphelios can do crazy things in a team fight. Has red, might be able to cycle into a white as Dragon is coming up in 15 seconds, if I'm remembering the gun cycles correctly. But that could be a big difference maker for Dig. He's got sums up, he can try and carry.
Yeah. It's not the most threatening of characters right now, still only on the 1 item plus a BF sword. Still, I mean, 1 big ultimate from the blue can be enough. The red-white is also super strong. Dignitas are here first. But Tomio will have a flank goal to potentially come from. Cloud9 look for a retake.
So watch Hoon here. This could be a big...
Oh, Zazel!
Death sentence lands onto Zazel. Played so well so far this game. Now chunked out heavily. Still around. Quickness coming back up. Zazel might look for a big engage, but I think it's over at this point. That is Dragon to Dignitas.
Yeah, and the fact that Zazel is alive as well is big coming out from Cloud9 because they end up trading just the turret for the Dragon as this game 3 has become super, super close. Cloud9 can't afford to make any mistakes this game because it is their last opportunity. As they look for Insanity, they get him.
Oh, Insanity knocked up. 1 Cyclone, 2 Cyclone, down. Thank God. Getting some revenge here with the help of Tomio.
Getting a kill. Tomio, 3 assists, been part of most of his team's kills so far. And Cloud9 taking down Insanity. That'll help a lot as they start looking for opportunities to set up on the other side of the map. Now remember, as Fake God gets more items, the split push gets better, but Cloud9 don't care about that. They're just going immediately for the Baron. And Dignitas, they come over, they ward it up. Dignitas do know.
Teleport.
Teleport.
Fake God. Everybody's here. Hoon is not close. It's going to come down to a steal. Can XU find it? Sonic Waves onto Fake God instead. Dragon's Rage kicks him back. Coming knocked up by the Dragon. Zazel over the wall, buying time. Buying them the space they need for the Baron secure. Zazel's out. Hoon doesn't get anybody with the equalizer. Cloud9 just sneak away the Baron.
Wow, great play coming through from Zazel again, taking everybody away from the Baron pit. XU cannot go for a steal, and Hoon doesn't even have an opportunity to take this structure at all. Feels like a great play coming through from Cloud9. Zazel being so proactive on the map, setting things up, doing everything right in order to make the rest of his team look even better. And now Cloud9 with the Baron. We'll see how many structures they can actually take. How far ahead can they push this one advantage?
Right now, as they've reset, spent their gold, and are back on the map. Looks like a 1-4 to start things off. They're not going to crash these waves at the exact same time, but they're pushing mid so they can get vision top so they can take top turret. Cloud9 are going back to the fundamentals right now of slowly whittling down these objectives, and Dignitas cannot really approach their top jungle.
As they start to move up, right, with nothing left to do, there should be at least 1 structure going down. Fake God can play in another lane. I love the fact that Diplex walks over, uses the ball to check the alcove. That has been one of the biggest plays, the biggest locations where people have been catching out Baron plays. By leaving people up in the alcove, leaving people in that bush, Diplex completely removes that play from possibility. And Cloud9, they feel so much safer. Now that they are way more confident there aren't going to be teleport flanks coming up behind them. They clear out a ton of these wards. It really limits the angles from which Dignitas can come.
Yeah, that's not a 4-item Aphelios, so that combo did not do that much. Chunked out Zeyzal a little bit, who is still kind of a squishy engaged champ. Dignitas are trying to wrestle back control of vision here. XU, cycloned by Tomio, gets out fine. That is ult down on the Wukong. Longer cooldown than Dignitas had to expend there to stay alive. But regardless, the turrets are falling. Cloud9 is their second turret with the Baron push.
Yeah. Good lead coming through. That brings it up to 4,000 gold, opening up the middle of the map. That puts them within one team fight, essentially, of actually closing out the game. As the other big thing is because Dignitas' bottom wave is pushing, one, they're much less likely to actually drop that structure, but they're not farming waves during this time. So as we take another look at the gold graph, we see the lead for Hoon has shrunk so much, and the big lead has again become a Lost versus Spawn. This might be one of the games where Spawn actually has a better DPM.
You mean Lost?
I meant
Spawn.
Lost.
Yep, Lost has a better DPM.
Yeah.
I would wager, you know, I feel like that would be the safe guess between
Safe guess.
the options available right now as Diamond tries to play, trying to keep himself alive. So far, he's fine. Drops down Gage and is all right. Gets out of that one, but ultimate expended. Should be up by the time Dragon's up if I'm remembering support cooldowns correctly, but that Dragon is spawning in 55 seconds. Cloud9 without the Baron. Doesn't matter. They'll still take more turrets, still establish more control over the vision for this Dragon approach.
Another structure goes down, 200 gold split amongst, or given to 3 people. You won't be able to spend that, but they're still so far ahead in gold at this point. 2 items on basically every major player. I like this from Fake God. It actually goes with the Wit's End instead of the Black Cleaver. But the big thing, we always got to look at it, Steve. The Equalizer from Hoon does so much damage. 2 items on Spawn and Diplex. He knows Insanity is here. They both know.
Spotted on Vision. Insanity has the Weaver's Wall. Can easily get out of that one. Diamond cannot easily get out. Has Flash available. Oh, no, he doesn't, actually. It's just coming off cooldown right now. So that's a crucial pick for Dignitas. Insanity tries to Weaver's Wall safety. Flashes the wall. That's a tough one to actually execute, but it won't matter. Tomio's here on the flank, and Insanity will get hunted down. Who gets the kill credit, Fake God or Tomio? I don't think Cloud9 necessarily care, but it's Fake God that picks it up.
Yeah, Dignitas trying to rush the Dragon at the same time. If they can get a couple of these mountains stacked up, it can really stem the bleeding. They're trying to get priority, and Cloud9 not in position to trade for it. Small prize getting picked up for Dignitas.
They want this.
Oh, and they get it.
Fake God is not close to Mega, but it doesn't matter. Dignitas are afraid of Tomio coming in and looking for that Smite Steal. They don't have the DPS on the Dragon because Cloud9 can engage onto them, so they have to back off. And Cloud9, they're on Dragon Soul Point.
That's huge coming through from Cloud9. Joey said that we're going at least one more game, and this looks like that is going to come true as Cloud9, they are firmly in control of this one. The Rumble that they've been banning multiple games in a row, not looking nearly as threatening as the Gwen was. So ultimately, even though Hoon has had some success on this character, he got so much investment from the rest of the team by actually pulling people up here, leaving the bottom side of the map undefended. It looks as though the way that Lost and Zeyzal have been able to play this one with the Zyra Khan, it's just been such a strong combo.
Beatdown, I have to say, I agree. Zeyzal on this Rakan's been finding the engages, the counter engages, the flanks, everything that Cloud9 need from him is a big reason they find themselves in this position in the game. Baron spawning in 30 seconds. They're hunting for a pick now. It's on Hoon. Tomio and Zeyzal are there. Equalizer's down. Hoon flashes away, throws the Ignite. Hoon has no tools now for a fight at Baron. Cloud9, they got what they were looking for.
Yeah, they got that ultimate. They got the flash. That is a ton. So as Cloud9 starts setting this one up, I mean, we got to, again, look at the other side of the map. If it's not going to be Hoon, it's got to be Spawn. He's going to be doing all the damage. But he's a little bit behind, and now Dignitas, I mean, with no true face checkers, how do they even walk into this one? The answer is, well, they probably just die, right? You try and walk over the Orianna ball coming through from Diplex, who's been pretty quiet throughout most of this game. It's been it's going to be super hard. You have nobody who can actually tank that. You have nobody who can buy space for you. It's always going to be about, can you get these engages started? And their engage tools are so weak.
It's so tough because, like, theoretically, you could use things like Thresh Lantern to check brushes, but, well, now you don't have that Thresh Lantern for all the engages coming on you. You can try and throw out the Talia volleys. That's mostly what they've been doing, is Insanity walking up, but you're still within engage range if you do that. Maybe they just land a crazy hook. It goes between the goalposts. That could have been big for Dignitas. They're fishing for these, miracle picks at this point. That's really their only option left.
Yeah, and it's got to be on XU to actually get those things started, but it's so hard. You have so many tools to prevent him from even getting the Resonating Strike to connect. And so, as they are pushed back inside their base, Spawn's got to farm up to get a third item, as you were calling out. That is one of the things that they do have in their back pocket. Cloud9 playing this pressure game fantastically. The only team they've really been losing this to was CLG earlier in the year, but Cloud9, they've just won so many skill checks so far in this game, it feels like it doesn't matter. Look at Wazzy's front line.
Zazel. Diamond, misses another death sentence right there. These are crucial moments. If you're landing those, the game could turn on a dime.
Dude, what AD carry does that in this league that isn't lost, right? He's just walking up and challenging them all on his own. Dignitas, they go in.
Oh, the big combo! Cloud9 with the trigger pull of the century. Everybody down on Dignitas. They're looking for more. The carries are alive. Spawn and Insanity have a wall to work with. Oh, that was beautiful.
Great stuff, and just like last game looked super dominant in favor of Dignitas, this one has been all Cloud9 all the way. We were asking questions if Hoon was going to be strong enough to actually do something, but no, it is not. Fake God has bounced back, and this one lost. Zazel, Diplex, Tomio, everybody fighting the engages. They have the tools, they're just going for it, and suddenly everything that Dignitas were trying to do for the past 3 games in a row feels like they've actually been shut down. Saving Counterpick here hasn't done anything, and ask a new question. What are you going to do now that Cloud9 have kind of figured out the tech? They're going to pick the Rakan earlier. They're going to force Dignitas off of some of these engaged combinations that they have liked. How is Dignitas going to react to that? Are they going to try and change sides? They're going to try and bounce back in this game? Or they're going to just give it over and say, hey, that was an execution diff. We're going to try something else. We'll give Hoon a different champion. Because from this position, it's so hard and requires a colossal mistake from Cloud9 for Dignitas to come back.
I doubt Cloud9 will give them that shot, and this is the Cloud9 that I was hoping we would see in this series. Games 1 and 2, little uncharacteristic in some of the performances that we were seeing, but those kinds of snap engages are what make them. Now the engage from Dignitas, big flank from XU here. Could find the hero play. The team needs to back him up though. Are they ready?
Ooh.
Flash kick on the Lost, has the stasis, and now Cloud9, we're ready for the re-engage! Tomio's onto the back line, Spawns out of the fight, and that is a fight win with a triple kill to Fake God. Cloud9 will not go quietly. They will fight back in game 3, taking us to another game in this series.
Wow, great stuff coming through. Fake God withstanding so much pressure, coming out 6-1 and 3 at the end of it. But so much of this was about the fact Zazel was one step ahead of Diamond in so many of these engagements, being able to make so many more plays. We've seen the answer to this of Renata have so much success. Thresh not able to do it this time around, and so that's going to be putting Cloud9 not going to allow the full sweep, but potentially looking for a reverse sweep of their own.
Fake God was punished early game in the 1v1. He was hard camped. It didn't matter. He came back big at the end of that game. Massive shout-outs to Fake God for keeping his head in the game and bringing us to a game 4. That was elimination on the line for Cloud9, but they will keep the series going and their dreams alive. As we send it to a short break, we'll give the players time to rest and recuperate for game number 4.
Our number 4 most valuable prospect for spring 2023 is Prismal. To some, it was a shock that Prismal swapped to support after so many years being a top contender as a marksman in Academy.
One more other should have it. Oh no, Prismal!
To others, it was a welcome change to fully enable the aggressive voice he brings to a team.
Look on the Elise.
I think they might have seen me. He cloned over. Oh, look here.
Holy f***, on the go for that flash, by the way.
After getting first seed with CLG Academy in spring 2022, Prismal would leave to swap to the support role for summer 2022 with a semi-pro team. but quickly was snatched up by Golden Guardians Academy when Chime was picked up by TSM for the LCS. Being able to play varied styles as a support player, you would think he has been in the role since the beginning. As a role-swapped ADC to support, Prismal knows exactly what his lane partner needs when he's playing on the Enchanters. A shield here, a heal there, why not line up kills on a golden platter to boot for the team? Not always flashy, but always for the greater good. Out of the pit, so they should be able to secure play from Prismal! This is where Prismal's electrifying performances on engage supports comes in. He goes hard when he gets his hands on one of these. Enemies, minions, turrets, none of these are going to get in his way when Prismal is looking to engage. And that's the thing Prismal brings as a support. The willingness to play forward at all times. Whether it is finding flanks with the Enchanters or using the engaged champions to defend the team. Prismal brings a spark to the rift with his plays. And to top it off, this style allows him to be a leader to the rest of the team around him. After all, you feel more inspired when your captain is in the throngs of battle alongside you. And this is why Prismal is one of our MVP frontrunners.